Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Broadcasting live from Strong Island Studios in Massapequa, New York.
You're listening to Man Up
with Eric Holzman and Matt Wieman.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. It is January 9th, 2018. You're listening to and watching Man Up. Me, Eric Holzman here. My boy, Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt.
So we have an exciting show planned for you guys tonight. As always, if you want to interact with us, give us a call at 516-945-9099. And we have a really exciting show planned. A lot happened in this past week in the world of sports. We're going to try and tackle a lot of the issues, especially the NFL stuff. There was a couple of
Major stories
that happened in the NFL. We had, obviously, last night we had the NCAA National Championship game. That was
football game.
Very exciting game, went to overtime. My team didn't win that I was rooting for, but
Honestly, at the end, I was rooting for them too. I mean, it's one of those things where Alabama is the evil empire of that sport, of college football.
Right.
And ironically, I was talking to my cousin, who's a girl. Mm-hmm. She goes to Alabama. She's a freshman.
okay.
So, in other words, she's swept up in all of it, and she thinks it's great, and everyone's on an even playing field. And she doesn't really, no offense, Caleb, but you don't really know much about it. I was trying to explain to her today, she completely disagreed that it's an unfair playing field. Alabama is kind of similar to Kentucky for basketball,
right,
where they're getting all the one-and-dones. Not as much anymore, but the first few years of that, it was like everyone. You know, when Cousins and Wall and all them were there, it was like 5 out of the top 10 people would always go to Kentucky.
Right.
20 out of the top 50 people go to Alabama. And sometimes they get the 2 or 3 best players at that position.
They recruit, they have the best players every year. It's not even close. And that has really obviously boosted the program.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, they don't have it. I don't mean to disrespect anyone who graduated from the University of Alabama.
No, not
it's
at all.
It's a fine institution.
You're going to get people
but they do not
talking
have
crap
the
to you.
best academic
records.
program.
No, but I mean, listen.
Or I shouldn't say that. They shouldn't have
Student athletes.
They do not have the best academic requirements to get into the school.
For student athletes.
Yes, for student
Because
athletes.
actually my cousin is going for nursing, and it is one of the highly accredited institutions in the U.S. for nursing, apparently. So I don't want to discredit that, the university. But as far as student athletes, they let them slide by. But that's neither here nor there, right? The point is they get pretty much all the top recruits. They all go there. I'd say 2/3 of them, they go there. This guy that came in at quarterback, you know, Tua Tagovailoa, or whatever the heck his name is. Eventually I'll know how to say it, just like Frank Ntilikina,
right,
Kristaps Porzingis.
We'll learn.
Yeah,
we'll
over time we'll learn. Because
we'll get your name, buddy, because we're going to hear about...
I was going to say, this kid's not going
We're going to hear from him for a while.
Yeah, so what did you think of the game overall? I put up a meme in our group today, like father, like son, and there's a play off the Birdman and Lil Wayne album, but it was actually Georgia and the Atlanta Falcons, and you know the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead.
That was pretty bad.
Georgia's not as bad of a lead. You know, they were up at half. There was no score for Alabama at half.
Right.
I believe it was 13-0. But they did blow it.
Yeah, they did.
And what kind of
they were up 20-7 in the third quarter, and
but the ball's on Saban to make that change.
Yeah, I mean, because Hurts has sent Jalen Hurts, who was their starting quarterback, has like all the passing records in Alabama history.
Yeah,
he has like all these gaudy numbers, and for Saban to realize, you know what, you're not getting it done, and for the kid to be like, whatever's best for the team. I mean, obviously, you're in college, you can't really cause much of a issue if the coach says you're sitting, you're sitting. Mm-hmm. But still, for Saban to do that to the player who got him there, the quarterback who got him there, that was
the last 3 years.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty impressive. And
like I said, it takes big cojones. It does, and he did it. I mean, I said it before this game. He's the best coach in college history, in my opinion, because of his recruiting and also the way he runs his program.
It's always tough. Those kind of questions are always tough for me to gauge or answer because, I mean, Bear Bryant was a great coach.
Yeah, but how many schools?
Urban Meyer is a great coach. Like, you can go through
I like Urban Meyer.
all these other coaches who have won, and say, and they could stake a claim to it. Yeah, Ohio State gets great recruits, but they don't get the recruits Alabama gets. So is Urban Meyer doing a better job? Like you could gauge it a lot of ways. And back in the day when Bear Bryant was coaching, the rules were different, right? You had different rules, different set of standards.
Yeah, but it's completely different on. It's like a lot of things comparing Babe Ruth to Barry Bonds, like steroids and curveballs and dead ball, all this stuff.
Right.
So, or Wilt Chamberlain to Shaquille O'Neal or whatever it is, right? It's similar to that.
Sorry about that,
Making love to the mic over here. Similar to that, but he's playing on the same level playing field as everyone else, but he's just so much better. I mean, he's got 2 more now. After last night, he's got 2 more championships than anyone ever. So there's no debate. Like, there isn't. I'm sorry. Most winning.
No, I mean, the argument is, you could definitely make the argument, and no, I can't argue really back and say no, he's not. He's clearly one of the best. I just think naming anyone the best is tough when guys play in different eras. The rules are different for recruiting, coaching has changed. The rules of the game have changed. There's a lot of different things that go into evaluating of his era. Definitely.
I think he's the best of all time because of what he has to deal with and winning in this era. With the amount of social media and the lack of any issues you really hear out of Alabama. I mean, there's Reuben Foster had something last year. But the reality of the situation is he controls his program.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a Patriot situation.
He is he is the king there. There's no doubt about it. What he says goes, and as we saw last night, if you're not doing the job, you're sitting down, I'm getting someone else.
Did you hear what Bruce Arians said today?
I didn't.
They asked him, because I guess he's a very good, Bruce Arians and like all these coaches, they go back. Like Saban was on Belichick's staff in Cleveland, like all this crazy stuff.
Right.
So, but he said today, he was asked, I can't remember who asked him. He's like, do you think Nick Saban would leave Alabama? And he goes, I never would have said yes. He goes, but the one job that he would leave for is open right now. And they're like, well, what's that? And he's like, the New York Giants. And they're like, well, why that? And he's like, well, I've known Nick for a long time, and like, when we were growing up, that was the team. Like, that was the standard, and then the Steelers crept in, the Cowboys and all this stuff. He goes, but that was the team. And now that there's a chance there. So that's something to think about. But as far as the game last night, this freshman quarterback, comes in at half, like we said.
We'll just call him
Tula. And he looked like Tula because he looked like he was tiptoeing around like he was a freaking ballerina, because he was honestly so light on his feet. And I told you, I was looking at things, the first series he came in, he made an impact right away. His hip flip, that sounds weird.
No.
But how quick it was for him to flip his hips and get his base set as a quarterback. And then also some of the checks he was making with his head off, like looking, the last play of the game, he looked down
he did.
that guy,
He
and then he popped it over the top.
Yep.
That's something you don't see from an 18-year-old. And this guy was the #1 recruit in the entire nation last year. This guy's going to be special. But stinks for the Bulldogs. They haven't won a championship in 40 years.
I have friends so many friends who went to Georgia. I have friends who are fans of Georgia because they live there. And after what happened with the Falcons last year, like you said, to have to deal with that this year, that's tough, man. My heart goes out to you guys. Seriously, that's a tough one to.
But the one thing you can take is you have a great coach going forward. It's only been 2 years, and he made it to the national championship already. He's exceeded expectations.
Yeah, Fromm is a freshman.
Fromm's a freshman.
So you have plenty.
And you know what? I know towards the end he was kind of like whatever, but when Alabama came out and Tula, whatever the heck we're calling him, he scored his first play or his first drive, which was a pretty nice drive. He came out and fired a shot downfield and got a touchdown that was like 80 yards, and that was insane. Like, dude, like he shows guts too. Like,
like I said, I'm a Notre Dame fan, and their first big test on the road this year was at Notre Dame for Georgia, and it was his first start. And to see that, to remember how I saw him then, and so when I watched him last night, the difference that the year has made and how much better he's gotten at just the little things. He didn't have a great game. He only completed 50% of his passes. He threw 2 interceptions. One of them was off the guy's helmet.
The game wasn't great, but...
Right. But just to see how much better he's gotten as a player, they're in good hands going forward. I think Georgia will be a threat for a couple more years.
What do you guys think? 516-945-9099.
Yeah, give us a call. College football fans, give us a call.
Now, listen, before we get off that topic, Georgia's 2 running backs, They're going to be
Yes.
special in the NFL. The one guy, I forgot his name.
Sony Michel?
Yeah, he reminds me of Kamara with a little more weight. The way he plays, he's very shifty. He makes receptions. He's got a lot of promise. Nick Chubb is a little less shifty, but more like an Ingram in my mind, where he kind of can make that
That's a
transition
fair-
eventually.
Yeah, that's definitely a fair assessment.
Both guys that will be drafting on fantasy.
Both guys will be in the NFL and they'll be good in the NFL. I don't know how good they'll be, but they're both definitely NFL running backs.
I think Michelle has a higher.
Yeah, I think I would have said Chubb a few years ago
Yeah.
before his injury, but post injury, I think Michelle is a little bit better.
There's a few guys on Alabama that, since we were talking about, they get every player.
Right.
Their backfield is insane. Like, they have elite talent, but they just don't get enough burn. Bo
Yeah.
Scarborough, he's not as good as Derrick Henry, but he's massive. And it's funny, I had a Facebook memory today with, I guess I posted it, it might have been last year or the year before. I can't remember if Scarborough was a sophomore or a junior, but it was Kirk Cousins. He's like, he posted a picture of Bo Scarborough at like 16. And he posted a picture of himself, and he goes, "No wonder Alabama never called." Dude, it's like that Sean Oakman picture. Remember
Right.
him?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
in prison now because he was. But that picture, like, it was hilarious.
Unbelievable.
But listen, it's whatever. Nick Saban's old boss, Bill Belichick, he was certainly in the news this week.
that story, man, by Seth Wickersham from ESPN, by the way. He wrote an article about is this the end of the Patriots, basically. That's what he said. The Patriots that we know.
That we know.
Right. And I actually read it. I had heard about it, but before the show, I wanted to read the whole article to make sure I had the gist of it. And he basically laid out that some people in the organization and some sources who, obviously, they never give their name, but that there's been a rift developing between Brady and Belichick for years.
Okay.
And it really got more and more prominent this year when Brady wrote his book about his TB12 lifestyle and what he changed, and the trainer, the Guerrero,
Yep.
the trainer, who apparently was indicted in federal charges a few years ago, which I didn't know,
Okay.
which he beat, but he got indicted for claiming, this is a flashback to my former life, by the way, claiming that certain supplements could cure cancer.
Really?
Yeah, and he had charges filed against him for making claims like that. So
Definitely someone you want to have.
right,
your-
so like the whole story behind.
Well, he got pissed because. Wait, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no,
I
the
don't
whole
wanna cut you off.
story, the whole thing behind the story is that move pretty much began the shift in priorities of what Brady thinks the team should do.
Well, this guy kept coming out and well, first of all, he started training some of the Patriots
Right,
players, which
right.
is a no-no for Bill.
Well, Belichick at first said, welcomed him in because he
Yes.
liked some of the methods that he used and thought that he could help the team. But when this guy started to kind of
Say it's their fault for injuries. You didn't do my way.
Right.
Then he was like, "F this, get out."
right,
Basically.
he was basically trying to put a rift in. Belichick thinks he was trying to put a rift in the team between Brady and him. So
Yeah.
so that's.
So that's why Belichick kind of said, "Get out, friendly or not." But the other thing that they were bringing up in this article was the fact of Jimmy Garoppolo,
Right.
and the way that all went down because actually Belichick sent a text to Kyle Shanahan or Mike Shanahan. I can't.
Kyle. It was
It was
Kyle.
Kyle, and he said, "Hey, you need a quarterback," basically, and he was like, "All right."
Well, yeah.
A second's not bad though, but I
No.
mean, you should get a first for a guy like that. But I mean, it's for what he was and the
The
amount
theory,
of money.
well, the story says it was a mandate from Kraft that Bob Kraft told Bill Belichick you have to
trade.
get rid of, you have to
Yep.
trade Garoppolo, and the theory behind that is that it was because of Tom Brady.
Because he came to him and he was like,
Right.
"Yo, I'm still
that Brady
here."
was kind of like that. Brady is not helpful with backup quarterbacks. They said similar to how Favre wasn't with Aaron Rodgers, basically
Yep.
how he didn't help him.
Aaron Rodgers is the same way, by the way. I've heard.
Right. I mean, and I get that
It's
as a
learned.
competitor. As a competitor, I
Yeah.
get that. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to, especially as you get older, you want to maintain your position on the team. Not that Brady would have to do that, since his resume speaks for itself. But that's what happened, and that's why Garoppolo eventually got dealt for. Again, it was a second-round pick, which is great, but kind of Belichick wanted to keep him. That he was the
Because
guy.
he knows that
Right.
he obviously you saw it. I mean, on the field, he saw you special. He was like, "This is the next guy. He's smart. He's a smart coach, smart GM / coach, whatever his role is.
Right.
Basically, he's both." and he knew. And that could definitely drive a rift because Belichick, I've heard him in different things say if he doesn't have full control or whatever, that it's time for him to leave because the owner doesn't agree with what he's doing.
And Brady's,
Right?
I mean, obviously Brady still believes he can play. We keep hearing how he says, I'm going to play late into my 40s. And, I mean, he obviously could still play. He had a really good season this year. Not
MVP, maybe?
Right, could be the MVP. I don't think so, but he could be the MVP.
I mean, I think they're just going to give it to him because that's the way it is. It's like an unbelievable, man. But
this story, of course, they all deny any of the
of course they're gonna.
validity of it. They're like, no, we're fine, everything's great. But the more you read the story and you kind of think back to how things have gone this year, things that happened on the sideline, you kind of say, you know, this could be true.
Yeah, it might
really
be.
could be the case. I don't know. We don't know, but that the story is fascinating to me. Anytime something like this happens, I always think it's fascinating when dynasties start to crumble.
yeah,
I always think,
especially when it's our biggest rival. I'm sure you're like, okay, sounds good. Honestly, I mean,
of course, as Jet fans, of course, we're like, can this happen now, faster? Come on, let's go.
yeah.
This year could be the end.
I don't think it's going to happen. I honestly think they're probably going to win the Super Bowl, knowing the way that things go.
Stop it.
Dude, I'm just being realistic.
I know.
That's what it's probably going to happen.
I know.
We all hope against it.
I know.
But anyway, long story short,
No, Pittsburgh's gonna
screw the Patriots. I don't care about them. I hope Bill Belichick leaves, and then you guys are back to your lower than mediocrity.
Now. If he does leave, do you think the Giants wait to hire a coach? See if
Well,
he's
first of all,
available?
Dave Gettleman, they've already hired as GM.
Right.
Belichick would probably want full. So what do you do with that?
That's true, yeah.
Second of all, I think that Belichick would want to go to the Giants. They haven't hired a coach yet.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. If they got him, they would probably have to give some compensation.
Well, yeah, because this is not. He has one more year in his contract.
But I would never trade the second overall pick for a coach.
No.
I would trade a first. It's happened before. Gruden happened with Sean Payton. And those teams inevitably won Super Bowls. So it worked out.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, well, and you could give future picks if the Giants were amenable to that.
But still, I mean, I don't do that if I'm them. And furthermore, I think if Belichick did somehow make his way to the Giants, I don't think they'd take a quarterback at 2. I really don't. I think they would actually end up probably trading down because he would have faith in Eli and he'd probably want a guy like that, and then he would draft someone later.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look at what's happened with Brady now.
But they got him in the 6th round.
But if you believe this story, Eli's old too. So would he want to continue with?
Well,
Eli,
no, but
that's.
I'm not saying he wouldn't. But what I'm saying is Eli's already been through it. Belichick would probably draft someone this draft,
Right.
or if he liked Davis Webb, he'd be like, "You can run my system. We'll figure it out." And then they'd use that second pick either to trade down or for an elite player.
I would trade down
Defensively,
anyway. So
For the Giants.
yeah.
If you know Eli's coming back, then sure. But I'm telling you, that guy from Oklahoma, the guy we were talking about, the tackle, I think it's Orlando Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, I think, isn't that someone's name from the past that got hit in the eye with the sandbag?
Yeah.
Orlando Brown. I don't know if it's his son, but he's in Oklahoma, and this guy's like 6'8", 350, and he's supposed to be the best left tackle in the draft. The guy Eric mentioned, the guard from
Notre Dame, Quentin
is
Nelson.
also up there. But
Yeah.
listen, that's the biggest. I don't care what any Giants fan says. Your biggest problem is left tackle. That is it.
Yeah, when you have an aging quarterback who can't move
Yeah.
as well, yes.
You
and he can still
need
play.
a left tackle.
Yes.
That's my opinion. I know it's not the popular one, but their defense should repair itself next year. I think they have some money in free agency. They're not going to be super active, but you have the pieces on defense still. They didn't go anywhere. Apple, whatever, he'll be gone probably. But
yeah, that's another interesting situation.
But I don't even want to talk about
We could
him.
dive into that.
I really
some
don't
other
want
time
to.
in the
I
future.
mean, eventually, yeah. Then when they cut him,
right?
it'll
If they
eventually
cut
happen.
him, or if
Whatever.
something else happens, yeah, we'll go down that road.
But yeah, I feel like we'll see what happens with Belichick. It's very interesting. It's been beat like a dead horse here this week.
Yeah,
so.
on other shows and stations, obviously, that discuss sports, we've heard this story beaten to death.
How much? So John Gruden signed a 10-year, $100 million contract.
Yeah.
So good for John. He's back to the Raiders. I hope it works out for you. I don't know what'll happen. Offensively, they should be pretty good. But how much do you think Bill Belichick would command? And do you think he could go for short term? I think he could probably command 4 years, $100 million.
Well, he said. Well, apparently he gets $12 million now, right? That's the figure.
He actually gets more than that because he's the GM slash the.
Well,
coach.
his coaching salary
Is 12.
Is 12. That's what.
I thought it was 8.
That's what's being reported. I think
Okay.
I just heard it today. It
Fair
was
enough.
around 12. So he's already getting more than Gruden. But yeah, I mean, if you're leaving a job and you have that kind of success, you can definitely ask for a raise.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would be. Yeah, I could see 4 years, $80 million. I could see that.
So the
That's only
Giants, ironically, the same day,
Mm-hmm.
the same day that this Belichick thing came out, the gentleman was up there interviewing Josh McDaniels and
Yeah, Matt Patricia.
Patricia.
Yeah.
So Giants fans, and I know some of you guys are out there watching, who do you want, like, and why? 516-945-9099.
Yeah, give us a call. They interviewed Steve Wilkes today,
Yeah, is that the
the
defensive?
defensive coordinator from the Panthers.
But see, that's another. I don't think you go that direction. Why him? What did he do? Because Dave Gettleman likes him?
Well, that's definitely that's definitely the reason why they're interviewing him. I think.
Yeah.
And
But I
mean,
actually heard that there's a few other teams that are interested in him.
Yeah.
He's like a hot candidate, but I don't get it. Like,
And I mean, not to point out the obvious, but he justifies the Rooney Rule. If you do, you have to interview
but-
a black coach.
but
I'm
does their
just saying-
defense even? Does anyone? The only reason that defense is like it is because they have a guy named Luke Kuechly right in the middle, or Kuechly right in the middle. That's
No,
like Ray Lewis, dude.
They always have a pretty good defense, though. They do. I mean,
And when was Luke Kuechly drafted?
they always. I'm just saying, though, you're making it sound like he's not a good coach because their defense is a good.
Well, look at
They
last
always have
year
a
when he
pretty
got
good
hurt.
defense. Well, yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, you see it directly correlates. When he's not in the game, they're way different. They don't have
that's-
anyone like that on the Giants.
Any star player, when you take him off the field, is going to
Way different.
negatively affect your team.
Definitely negative, but middle linebacker, leader, best player, that's the biggest. On defense, that's like taking out your quarterback.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
But that's what I mean. Like, you don't have someone like that in the Giants who's going to be able to coordinate like
the
that.
Giants for years have been allergic to drafting linebackers for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
I know.
I don't understand. The team that when I was a kid had Carl Banks, Harry Carson, Lawrence Taylor.
Jesse Armstead.
Yeah, I was a little older,
whatever,
little
he's
bit
still
later
good,
in my
still
life.
good,
But yeah,
still good.
but I'm saying these are legendary Giant linebackers, and I can't remember the last one that I was like, wow, the Giants have a really good linebacker.
Yeah.
Like, who's the last linebacker you say, wow, that guy was really, really good?
To be honest, no one.
Right, I can't think of anyone.
Hurst, like in college, he was great, and then he
Yeah.
got cancer, and then he never was the same.
But
But either way, I really don't know.
all right, I can't think of it. So maybe now they'll do that. They'll draft someone.
Well, I tell you right now, Belichick's their coach. They're going for that middle linebacker out of
Probably.
Georgia, probably.
Oh,
or
Roquan
Alabama.
Smith?
Yeah, he looked great. Like that guy's. I would honestly. I know what you're gonna say.
We're not taking a defensive
I would take
player. No.
the Jets. I would take that kid if they traded down somehow because they couldn't get.
Well,
the
yeah,
guy.
if you trade down,
That's a
yes.
leader, dude. That's like
Yes.
getting a Ray Lewis type.
Yeah, no, that
should've-
kid's impressive. Very impressive.
I know this isn't a topic, and we still need to discuss the games from last week and this week. Terrell Owens and Randy Moss.
Right.
They're both nominated for the Hall of Fame
Yes.
this time around. And Ray Lewis, I'm not mentioning him because he's a shoo-in.
Right.
He's going first. But it's been notorious that receivers haven't gotten in first ballot. There's only been 5, I think. It was like Steve Largent, Jerry Rice, and a few old guys that are great, but, you know, whatever. Who do you think deserves to be in more? Do you think they're both going to get in? And do you think that they're going to make Randy Moss wait a year and then they're going to put them both in the next year?
That's a tough question because to me, they were both great in different ways.
100%. And divisive in this.
Right. Moss was definitely more of a dynamic deep threat, throw the ball down the field,
Yep.
he's going to catch it and kill you. Owens could work underneath, and he's a big physical guy,
Yep.
do his work there. I think Owens will get in first because this is his second time on the ballot.
Really?
I do think Owens will get in first.
This is his third time, actually.
Is it?
Either
Well, then
way,
even
regardless.
more so than I think he'll get in. But I don't know. Like, either one to me is fine. I wouldn't have a problem if either one of them got in this time, or if they both got in this time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem with it.
I mean, I personally, if I'm picking one of them, I know this seems crazy, and this isn't because of talent. I'm taking T.O. He just shows more guts on the field. Randy Moss took plays off. Randy Moss is the better player. If I'm taking a Madden team, or if we're just like one game only, I'm taking a guy, I'm probably going to take Randy Moss because
Right.
his jumping, his leaping ability, all that stuff, it's literally no one.
Athletically, he was.
There was no one that was like him.
Right.
Um,
That's true.
Anyway, so I think neither of them gets in.
You don't
this
think
time.
really? You don't?
I think they're going to put them in together the next time. I could be wrong. I would love to see Randy Moss get in because I don't even know who would be his presenter, but I hope it's white chocolate. I don't know. Jason Williams, if you don't know who that is.
That'd be funny.
They played in high school basketball.
Maybe
together.
Chad Pennington,
Maybe.
right?
Who knows?
Maybe Chad Pennington.
It's probably going to be Chris Carter. I'm
No,
thinking,
it'll probably
or
be someone in his
like that.
family.
Really?
We don't even know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of completely random with those.
That's
T.O., I literally don't know who would present for him.
No, me neither. I have
Jeff
no idea.
Garcia? Maybe Steve Mariucci?
I don't know.
I was joking about Jeff Garcia because obviously they hate each other. It's not going to. Don McNabb, no way. Like
Yeah, no, that will
basically
definitely
no quarterback.
not be the guy.
I could see Tony Romo. I don't know why. I could see him. I
No.
could see it.
I don't know. I don't think. No, I don't know. He'd be really tough. He's ruffled so many feathers with players, and he's such a
I know.
diva guy. Really. He
What
is.
about Chad Ochocinco? Maybe he would be the one that.
That would be funny.
I don't think he'll.
That would be a great speech.
My buddy Mike Manfredi thinks Chad Ochocinco is a bona fide Hall of Famer. I was like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. I said he was good for 5 years potentially, and then he dropped off hard off the map. He was definitely
Yeah, I mean,
entertaining,
but I don't. When I think of great receivers, he doesn't pop into my
Ever.
mind. Like I can't think of one standout play he made in my head that I'm like, oh wow, that was a great
Yeah.
play. Like Moss, I can think of plenty, and Owens,
and
I
then
think
T.O.
of,
that catch,
right.
you always think of that.
You
Or
think
the
of
Super Bowl game.
Right. You think of a couple of
Iconic
plays.
moments.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't think of one except for all his shenanigans with the jacket and the post game celebration.
Popcorn.
Right. The popcorn.
That was great.
Yeah. He
Or
was
what
a
about-
character. He was a character.
What about this? People forget his first. I don't know if it was his first, but it was one of his first antics. Remember the star in Dallas? T.O. ran to the middle and then
Yes.
threw the ball down, and it was George something or other came and laid him out on
Yeah.
the star. That was great. See, but I love that. It's entertainment. But the difference between the Baseball Hall of Fame and the Football Hall of Fame is it's supposed to only be about on the field, which is clearly a crock of BS because of the fact that this is not T.O. If it was just about being on the field, T.O.'s the first.
That's a whole.
He's
other
the next
argument,
receiver
though,
in, not
because
even a question.
I could go into a million reasons why all the Hall of Fames are shams,
Giving me a minute.
but but I'm not going to do that.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
That would be a different show because I literally.
Well, the Hall of Fame presentation will happen, and we'll talk about it that week.
Yeah, we'll do it
So
then.
I just wanted to bring that up. It's not even on the sheet here. Ooh, look at that little trick.
That's fine.
So last week's games, we both finished 1-3.
Yeah, we both kind of don't burn last week's tape because
Well, no,
that
because
never happened.
I'm not gonna. First of all, 1-3, it's whatever.
All
But
I know is my Super Bowl pick won. That's all I care
that's all
about.
you did care about, and that was barely because they screwed the Panthers over on that one call.
Whatever.
But I'll tell you right now that
Survive in advance.
if anyone out there picked Tennessee not against the spread, head up, you're lying. I'm saying it right here. Call in. Number's right there. Oh, right there. Number.
Clearly, yes.
516-945-9099
Yeah.
because there's no way you picked Tennessee without a spread
Nobody
to
picked
win that game.
Right. Nobody picked them.
And there's no way you predicted that Mariota would throw a touchdown pass to himself like I did in DraftKings and win some money. Yeah, got it. No, but that was crazy, that game. I didn't really get to watch it all that much because I was at a wedding, but I saw it through my phone and the highlights, and dude, the Chiefs just
You know
keep
what?
choking.
Andy Reid I think he's a great coach, but he is so in love with his short passing game that he completely forgets that he has a running game.
Well,
And I'm sorry, he did this in Philadelphia. He's doing it now with Kareem Hunt.
yeah, but Travis Kelce.
Who had, hold up, he had 6 touches in the first quarter and like 3 the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't get it,
once Kelsey went out, him and Hill
Yeah, but-
are your best offensive players.
but that's the problem.
And Hunt is the guy who's the running back who can catch and run. You give him the ball.
yeah, but they can cover Hill by himself.
Give him the ball.
You need that second. It doesn't matter because they're stacking the box at that point. Kelsey's out.
Screens.
It
There's
do-
ways
but
to
that's
get
what
him
he was
the-
doing, short
there's ways
passes.
to- but they're not. He
I'm not
wasn't throwing
disagreeing
it to
with
him.
you. I'm not disagreeing with you with Hunt. They should have. You ride that horse because that's what got you there. When there's a lull in the middle of the season, you weren't doing good. It's because you weren't giving it to Hunt, and then you
Right.
started again. But
This is a
But-
trend with Andy Reid teams. This is not new with him.
the rookie corner, I can't remember his name. I don't know why I can't remember it because I know it. The guy on the Titans, whatever the corner is, he was on Hill like glue. All All right, Hill is a threat. Excuse me. But when you have guys like Bayard in the secondary that are behind these guys, and you don't have a guy in the middle to occupy them anymore because Demetrius Harris is not doing anything. I'm sorry.
The Kelsey injury really cost him the game, in my opinion.
It did.
Right. And clearly. But you don't compound it by playing the same way as if he was on the field. And that's what they did. They played the exact same way.
Maybe they thought they could because Demetrius Harris, but he's not the same player. I mean, there's not even a question.
I'm just saying, you're right. Right then and there, he's not the same player. So why would you do that? Why would you even think of doing that?
Well,
I don't know.
They lost. If anyone picked Tennessee flat out, call in, say that you did it.
Yeah, or
tell me why, because I really don't. I don't get it.
On the Facebook comments page, just let us know because I doubt anyone did.
So the next one, Atlanta, they came out and they played like they should have in the second half of the Super Bowl last year.
That game. I mean, I watched both of those games. That game was a little bit more surprising to me because just of how they controlled Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
And yes, you knew they were going to focus on stopping him. Of course, that's the way you beat that team. If you're going to choose, you let Goff beat you. And he couldn't. He's not there yet. And I personally don't think they have the talent at wide receiver for him to excel.
They do, but they don't.
They don't
have the speed at wide receiver.
Sammy Watkins has the dropsies right now, so whatever.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, though, he's their best receiver.
I disagree.
Talent-wise, he is.
Cooper Kupp.
Clearly, no.
Yes, he's a rookie. He did better.
Kupp is great.
Well, Woods, you can't listen. They have a lot of 1As. They don't have a. I mean, they have a lot of 1Bs. They don't have a 1A.
But watching that game, and Atlanta really looked good. Like they really looked like the team that went to the Super Bowl last year.
First half.
Well, no, that went to the Super Bowl. I didn't say that played in the Super Bowl. I said that went to the Super Bowl last year. They really looked good. I still, I don't know. Matt Ryan is one of those quarterbacks to me who he's very good, but he
won MVP last year.
To me, he's not great. I would never call him a great quarterback.
I'd say he's borderline great.
He's very good. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. They played a perfect game to play against the Rams.
The Rams are a young team. They'll be back. I felt bad for them, but it's like, listen, you know what? You got to look at the year that you had and be like, listen, great year. We've went so far. But the thing is with these teams is you got to make sure you semi-repeat. Like I think if they go 6-10 again, then it's whatever. But the Rams have a good opportunity to improve. You know, they do need a big receiver, like a big-time receiver.
Next year,
the Jets.
Next year, I think you're going to have to ask Goff to do even more. Like that's the progression of a quarterback. So now in his first year he was terrible. Second year he was better. Now next year you want him to take another step to show that you know what he did win a couple games for them this year. But if Gurley is completely shut out, can he throw you 350 yards? 3 touchdowns and win you a game.
It's a similar situation to what's his name in Dallas.
What, Prescott?
Because of that situation,
thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
right. You want them to take the next step now. You had with Prescott it was the other way. He had a really good rookie year, a little bit bumpy this year.
But again, he did flat out lose his best player, so he's used to that. But he improved in the games that he had going forward. But it was a surprising loss. When I saw that, I was kind of like, whoa. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we both picked the Rams.
Yeah, we both picked the Rams and the Chiefs. But like I said, the Rams, it could have went either way. The Falcons played a great game. We picked the Rams because, I wanted to see them win. So I had to pick them. I also genuinely thought they were going to win.
I was a believer.
For sure.
I was. And I haven't been impressed with the Falcons this year.
No.
So.
But, the Falcons, you always knew they were like a sleeping giant, essentially.
Well, any team who's been there before.
Yeah.
They're always a threat.
That's it. You live and you learn.
Yeah.
So the games that we split on is Jacksonville versus the Bills.
Right.
RIP Bills fans.
Yeah, John. Sorry, man.
Sorry, guys. But
sorry about that.
You got there.
I was with you. I was pulling. I was watching.
You have a good young coach. That's another thing.
Good young coach.
Shady played well, even though he was definitely.
Yeah, he actually had a good game.
But you could tell that one run up the right side that he was not himself because he would have been gone if he actually, you could tell his foot was hurting.
Yeah, they just couldn't. They couldn't break through. That's what it was. They couldn't.
Unfortunately,
they couldn't break through with a touchdown.
And Peterman has to come in.
Yeah.
That was insane, man. Yeah. That's kind of like.
I hope Tyrod Taylor's okay because.
Yeah.
Man, he got.
And Blake Bortles literally he looked like he was never going to throw the ball. Like
He was
but he ran all over. He made some great runs.
Yeah, he was running. That's when
Dude,
they advanced the ball because of his legs.
Whatever you need to do to get it done.
Dude, he was missing some easy passes.
But you know what? I get this
Like-
feeling about Jacksonville.
Really simple throws.
Yeah, but so of Trent Dilfer. Like there's that defense could if it finishes and they win, whatever, win it all, then that defense will
They're
be
not winning it
heralded. If they get past their conference, they definitely have a chance with those two corners in that defense, 1,000%. Because they're the type of team that can beat Brady because of the way that they're shaped, their defensive line.
Can they score enough points?
But you don't have. The
That's the
Giants
question.
have proved that.
No.
It's true. It's true. When they won the Super Bowl, was it 17-14 or something, and then 21 to
Well, yeah, if you can get to Brady, that's any
But that's what I
great
mean.
quarterback. If you can get to him.
Campbell, Fowler, Malik Jackson.
But Eli Manning is better than Blake Bortles.
But Blake Bortles is.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to look at that position
yeah, but that's
as well.
I
Like
agree.
I said, he missed
I think the
throws
Jaguars-
to the flat that we could make.
Yes, but here's the thing, right? I agree with you, but this Jaguars D, overall, every position is leaps and bounds better than that Giants D. Their D line, the Giants D line, was A+. This D line for the Jaguars is an A.
Yeah, their secondary.
But they have
secondary's a
their
lot better.
linebacking core, Telvin Smith.
Yes.
And what's his name from Miles Jack? There you
Miles
go.
Jack, yeah.
And their corners are
Their corners are
Boye
excellent.
and Ramsey. It's like that's what I need.
Ramsey is insane.
Yes, Ramsey
Really
is
good.
like the next coming. Like he's already here. But
Yes.
the point is, if they get to a certain level, that's a team that matches up, ironically, extremely well with Pittsburgh. They showed it the first time
Yeah,
they played. They
they won
picked
in
Big
week
Ben out
5.
4 times.
5.
5 times, I'm sorry.
5.
And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But Jags, all the way. Minnesota and New Orleans, that's another game. But your team, you already said it. New Orleans won. Thought it was a little.
It was not. They dominated the first half.
I thought it was a
were a lot
little
better.
A little bit. That one hit on
See,
Cam.
And this is why, the reason why I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl is what we saw on Sunday.
Yeah.
Their running game's been great this year, right? So Carolina's like, we need to stop the run. But when you have a Hall of Fame quarterback back there who can beat you as well, that's what he did,
Yeah.
they're balanced.
They're not
well.
making it past Minnesota this week.
They're going to beat Minnesota this week.
I mean,
Yep.
Chris Gotti and Mike Marks, if you are out there, you freaking call in. You hear me?
They're going to win.
Tag them on here.
They are going to win. They're going to win.
No.
Yep.
And this is us going into our picks because we're just going to say Minnesota. We're not picking off the spread. They're favored by 3.5. They're in. First of all, you have this wrong because you said Minnesota versus New Orleans. It's the other way around. They're
No.
in Minnesota.
At would be the other way. Versus is the way I put it.
The first team is always the visiting team.
Not when you put it this way. But go ahead, continue. That's fine. That's neither here nor there. Go ahead, brother.
Going off.
Go ahead, go.
Going off.
Go.
Minnesota's defense
Uh-huh.
is the second best defense in the league. Maybe
Okay.
the best. It depends what you want.
Okay.
They will shut. Xavier Rhodes is the second best corner in the league.
Okay.
Ramsey first.
Uh-huh.
He will shut down Michael Thomas.
Okay.
And their defense will not shut down the run. It will all rely on Case Keenum making some throws. Not a lot of throws.
That's the first point. This is Case Keenum's first playoff game. Well, no, it's actually his second, I think.
Texans.
He played with the Texans, but he was bad. So
Actually, no, he wasn't horrible because that was like he's a rookie. That I believe that was like. Either
So-
way, but yeah,
But the other thing is, it's a dome.
yeah. They both play in domes.
But Breeze in a dome is dangerous.
So is Keenum.
Oh, stop it. You're going to really compare?
Keenum
Both
has
of
better
them?
stats right now.
Come on, man. That's ridiculous.
I'm not talking about career. I'm talking about
That
right
is
now.
ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
One guy's won a Super Bowl. Case closed.
Oh, and when was that?
Period.
What year was that? It
Doesn't matter. He won.
It doesn't make a difference.
He's like third all-time passing yards. He's a better
no.
player.
So your assessment would be if Carson Wentz is playing Eli Manning's better because he won a Super Bowl. Wrong. I'm sorry. You cannot say that.
No.
But that's kind of what you're saying.
No,
even though that's
I'm
not
saying
example.
all things being equal, you
But
go
they're
with-
not.
I said, I'm saying if all things are equal, and don't even try and tell me Keenum's better than Breeze. He's not. Breeze is a better quarterback, period.
Mind-wise, maybe. Dude, overall, for a lifetime of career, 100%.
No,
this
this
season
season-
right now, I'm taking Keenum. He has a better year than him.
You are nuts.
I'm not nuts.
You
For
are
the amount of games that he
crazy.
played,
You are nuts.
you got to do the amount of games he played, dude. I'm telling you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nobody in the world would take Keenum over Drew Brees.
Well, I'll tell you what.
You put Drew Brees on the Vikings, I would say they're winning it all right now. The only reason why I think they are is because of the quarterback. He's been great, yes, but this is different. This is different for him. This is a different experience.
Yeah, you're right.
for him.
It's like Drew Brees going from one place to another and being great and successful there. It's very similar.
But Brees was good with the Chargers.
He
so
was
that didn't
good, and then he
matter.
blew his shoulder out.
But he
so.
was. That's what I mean. It's not the same thing.
I think that it is, and I think that you're going to be dead wrong, and Minnesota's going to kill them.
Kill them?
I think they're going to win by more than 2 touchdowns.
I think you're crazy
I know.
because there's no chance that happens.
Well, 3.5 is the spread, but they'll definitely beat them. Handedly.
I picked the Saints, and I'm going to stick with the Saints. Their defense has been a lot better this year. Lattimore's a really good cornerback.
Yeah, Lattimore's good for one of the, but I mean, the way that they play offense, it's not really going to matter because it's not like he's going to shadow Thielen or him. I think he's going to mix up with Diggs and Thielen. They do a lot of short passes, a lot of running back. I'm telling you right now, Mike Zimmer is one of the top 5 coaches in the league,
I like Mike Zimmer.
and I think that he's got a game plan, and Drew Brees is going to get stomped out. That's what I think. All right, so let's move on to the next game. New England versus Tennessee. Let's make it easy. New England.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with that. on
Dude,
this
if
one.
Tennessee, well, I mean, the spread is 13.5. So
Yes.
if you're betting the spread, I would consider taking Tennessee because I think it's going to be a close game, you know, in terms of them.
Right.
Bye.
This isn't the Patriots. I don't think it's the Patriots of the past. They've shown to be a little bit weaker this year.
But now this extra,
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing.
I pull them out by 50, you know.
Is it? Well, that's the thing. Are they gonna gonna come together from it and, you know,
Yeah.
say screw everyone, or are they going to be fractured and
Yeah.
not play well?
Yep.
So that's the thing. I don't know what to expect from them. I just expect them to beat the Titans. That's all I can tell you.
I don't have anything else to say.
I expect them to beat the Titans. And don't get me wrong, the Titans showed a lot on Saturday. They played well.
They're a young
They
team.
came back. Mariota's an exciting player. Who knows? Maybe he has one of those games where he's running all over the place and throwing all over the place and they catch lightning in a bottle. I wouldn't
I don't
bet
see
on
it.
it,
I don't see it.
but there's a puncher's
You
chance.
wouldn't bet on it?
No, I wouldn't bet on it.
13.5? You wouldn't bet on it.
No. Well, no. If I'm getting points, I
That's
might
what I'm
bet on
saying.
it.
Would you bet on it?
Yeah, I probably would take them with the points.
That's just 2 TDs.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd probably take them with the points.
So, we're the same on that. Pittsburgh versus Jacksonville. This is probably, well, the other game's pretty fun, but this is probably the best matchup in terms of complete teams.
Well, I think Minnesota, New Orleans is also on
That's
that,
a good one.
that
That's
same-
up there.
yeah.
Yeah, they're both in the same
I think
level.
each conference has one of those.
One dud and one stud,
Right, yeah.
basically.
Yeah, I think that's-
So what do you think there? And the spread is 7.5. Pittsburgh's favored. I don't know how.
Antonio Brown apparently is going to play. Apparently he's healthy enough that he's going to play this week. Again, that's what I'm reading.
But
He's a difference maker, obviously.
it doesn't matter if he doesn't even run.
So he could be a decoy. Sure.
But that's huge for their matchups for the corners.
Right.
Because you're not going to just ignore him.
right.
And you'll be able to see very quickly if he is Antonio Brown or not, because Jalen Ramsey will start talking, and I'm going to say, talking shit literally the first play. He said, they had an interview with him, I start right away. Right away.
Yeah.
Cal Campbell's like, I'm
Look,
embarrassed to be on the field
look.
sometimes, but it's hilarious.
I am all for trash talking. I love it. I think it's such a great psychological tool. If you're good at it, you get inside. If a guy's thinking about what you're saying, he's not going to play well.
Dude, I do that all the time.
So, exactly.
But I'm
So that's
all
what I mean.
O-line, so it's a little different. Because I don't really start talking, but if a guy is like a dick on another team, I'll definitely start. Because if I get kicked out of the game, I'm an O-lineman, whatever. If a quarterback or receiver, which some of them start gabbing, because, they're talking trash too, I'll be like, yo, dude, just let me handle this. And that's what happens,
No, hey, I'm with you.
But with him, in his case, he's for a competitive edge and the fact that he's elite and he knows he can do it.
Well, no, he backs it up. If you're gonna
For sure.
if you're gonna talk, you got to back it up. And
Yeah.
he definitely backs it up. So that's
Now, his rookie year, he did get 1 or 2 games. He got burnt a little, but then at the end, he was just so solid. You
Well,
were
no,
like, oh, my God.
I mean, I always go back to Revis because he was a Jet. Now we got to see him up close. Same thing with him. Like his rookie year,
Definitely different,
he wasn't
but very
elite,
similar. Yes.
but he took those experiences and he became elite.
Yeah. All right, so who do you think is going to win this game, Pittsburgh or Jacksonville? Why?
I'm going with Pittsburgh for A because I picked them to be in the Super Bowl.
Fair enough.
But I just think
You're really gonna make me pick New England. I did pick them though,
you did pick them already.
so I guess we're.
But I just think that their offense is really good
Okay.
and their defense is good enough. I don't trust Bortles to be what he was in that game. They're a different team than they were in Week 5, obviously. I do not think Roethlisberger is going to throw 5 interceptions again. It could happen because
could.
he's prone to do that at times.
Not in the playoffs, really, though.
Right,
He's a
so
little
I wouldn't
smarter.
think that. I just think they're the more experienced, better team and they're home, so I think that gives them the advantage.
I'm gonna go with the same,
Yeah.
but for a different reason. I think Le'Veon Bell is gonna carve him up. But the thing is with Pittsburgh, always in the playoffs, the issue is health. They do have Antonio Brown,
Right.
but I mean, think about the last few years. They always have 1 or 2 guys missing.
Yeah.
Whether it's Landry Jones playing or was it D'Angelo Williams?
Yeah, D'Angelo Williams.
Whatever it may be, it's always been an issue. So hopefully they can stay healthy enough for that
Right.
game, if they win this game, to play whoever wins the other game, which is probably going to be New England, as we've said.
Yeah, I'd be shocked.
Because I would love to see a rematch, because I mean, everyone knows they kind of got screwed the last game.
Who?
With Jesse James, that catch.
Yeah, oh yes.
It's a catch.
Oh yes.
I still think it's a catch.
Oh yes.
So they're definitely out for blood.
You just brought it up, and I keep thinking how the ball crossed the plate before it hit the ground.
It makes me sick.
But yeah, okay.
Just like in Austin Safarian.
Yep.
A lot of different things.
Yep.
A little different because of the plane, but yeah, I mean, I can't go again. Jackson. It's going to be a great game. It definitely rests on Blake Bortles, but it also rests on the health of the Steelers going forward.
Yeah, I mean,
if one of the guys gets injured, then if Brown's out, the game is way different.
yeah, of
'Cause
course.
they stack the box.
Right, and we don't know how much, like, even if he plays, how healthy is he? How much is he going to play? How much he's going to be on the field? Well, the other way we'll know is if he's not returning punts.
I don't
Unless
think
he
he's going to return
returns
punts
punts.
either way, though.
I'm just saying, though, he does.
Juju's probably going to do that.
So if he's not healthy, he definitely won't. Not healthy enough. So I don't think you'd see
Well,
that
yeah,
either.
but I still don't think they would do that for
Even
the
if
first
he
game
was?
back. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
they
well, no,
wanna,
right,
a snap count or whatever it is. Like,
Right.
even if he's
But if
out
he's
there.
on the field, then he balances the field for them. So that's
Yes.
That's a big
I
key.
mean, we'll see what happens. I'm picking Pittsburgh without the spread, 7.5. If we're picking with the spread, I'm taking Jacksonville because I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a low scoring. It could be potentially low scoring to the point where it's like 17-20.
I don't know. It could be. I just have a feeling we're gonna get one of those games from Roethlisberger where he throws like 4 touchdowns and is.
We're forgetting a key
Incredible.
player. He's been hot and cold this year, but Fournette can carve that defense up.
No, Fournette. I was just gonna say if Jacksonville's gonna win, he has to have a big game.
Yeah.
I think he has to be huge for them
Yep.
to win.
Oh, he's saying huge here, huh?
Bortles had
Alex
that one
Trump?
stretch. Yeah, right. Bortles had that one stretch this
you,
year.
Alex.
That one stretch this year when I even wrote it on the thing because in the show I'm like, wow, he's getting better. Maybe this is, and then
You just jinxed him.
he completely shit the bed.
So
and
that's
that was it. So
yeah. All right, last game. Oh, so just to finalize, we're both doing Pittsburgh.
yes.
So right now, there's 1 game difference, kind of like last time. All right, the last game is Philadelphia versus Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia led by Nick Foles, but they have an elite defense. What do you think?
If Carson Wentz was playing, I would easily go with the Eagles because they're home. And I think we're going to get a good game from Nick Foles. I just think if the Atlanta team that played this past week shows up,
Done.
they're going to win.
Yeah, I think so.
And they really impressed me last week. Like, I was really, really shocked. That's a tough trip. I mean, everyone says, oh, these guys are professional athletes. Going cross country, having to play, play in LA, it's not easy. It's proven in the NFL that a lot of teams that go out west, no matter how good they are, often struggle.
Yep.
So the fact that they did it on the road in a playoff game, I think that the Super Bowl hangover for them is over finally now. I think they're finally starting to hit their stride. I like the Falcons. I think they're going to win the game.
I feel the same way, and I'm just going to agree with you because I want to jump to a topic that we haven't hit in a few weeks.
Okay.
But just to clarify, the only different game that Eric and I have are Minnesota, New Orleans.
Yes.
But collectively, we're Atlanta, Pittsburgh, New England. So we think
Yes.
the championship games are going to be Pittsburgh and New England, and very similarly,
New Orleans and the Falcons.
Atlanta. Yeah.
No, you think Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think New Orleans.
I think it'll be Minnesota, but we'll see what happens.
I kind of want the New Orleans-Atlanta matchup. That's a good rivalry
whatever.
there. It'd
We've seen that
cool.
2 times a year.
I know.
don't
But
need
go
it.
ahead.
Minnesota deserves it. They haven't won a Super Bowl. It's.
No, I mean, I don't look.
I don't like saying that, but I think they do.
If they win, I'm not going to be upset.
No.
I mean, my Super Bowl pick will be out, but I won't be upset.
I would love to see them versus the Patriots. I think it'd be a very good.
But I want New Orleans to win. That's all.
Yep. Fair enough. I can't hate on that. So the Knicks.
Yeah, we haven't talked basketball in a couple weeks.
Mr. Tired. Kristaps Porzingis comes out and says he's tired.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's all on him. They're not using him right. He's not a post player yet. True post player. He's not big enough leg-wise to take the beating. He gets doubled in the block. Put him in triple threat situations out. He's not great off the dribble, but put him in that situation where he can pick and pop outside,
He's a much better high post, mid post player where he can catch the ball, free throw line, extend it a little, and do work there.
Pretty much 100% from
do work there. Right. Like that's his wheelhouse, and it's been his wheelhouse since he's been in the league. The issue that he's having, and it's an issue that it's more than just him. The referees are letting defenders really get under him. And I'm a Knicks fan, so it's going to sound like I'm complaining and posturing, but I feel like he gets punished for being his height. Yeah. Like he's 7'3" and no one else is, so the refs are like, well, you have this huge height advantage.
This is what happened with LeBron in the beginning of his career.
Right, and in my head, I'm like, that's not his fault.
Yeah, he's that big.
He's a skilled player, yes. And I think that goes against him, too, because he's not a power player who is calling.
Fitting in a call here. Let's see who it is. 585, that's Rochester area.
Okay.
Hi, this is Matt and Eric at Man Up. Who's calling, and where are you calling from?
Hey, how are you? I'm calling for the Man Up show. I have a question about the Knicks and what they think is going to happen with the glut at the center position.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're on with us now, so
hey,
ask
how's
away.
it going, guys?
What's going on?
What's going on? What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Joe from Victor.
Joe, welcome to the show. Ask away, my man.
Okay. Glad you guys finally got to the Knicks.
I know. Sorry.
The question I have for you guys is what you think is going to happen with the center position, with the 4 players they have there. Who do you see moving out?
You want to take it?
Yeah. I think they're going to eventually get – I love Hernan Gomez, but I think he's going to be on his way out. I would love for them to re-sign Cantor to a deal that's – I don't know what kind of deal, but probably 4 years. It'll probably inevitably be it. I would love 2, but that's not a reality.
Yeah, no.
Noah's going to be out. And who's the – Kyle O'Quinn will the other thing I wanted to bring up is Kyle O'Quinn this week and the Knicks first has been discussed in a trade potentially for Kemba Walker. So one of them might already be out. What would you like them to do?
Well, I'd like him to stretch Noah when it made sense. I mean, you're not going to get rid of that contract. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
Kyle O'Quinn, I'd like to see them get something back for. I'd kind of like to see them keep Hernan Gomez for the time being. I think his trade value is at an all-time low right now.
Yeah. I agree.
Because he's not playing. I think bringing him off the bench, trying to hold him accountable for defense and grow him as a player. He's on a really small contract. And at least before you get rid of him, build him up. Don't sell low with the guy.
I agree.
That's all
They've underutilized him this year. I mean, I think he fell out of favor with Hornacek and also maybe just because of the depth.
Well, the problem is
all right.
He's not
All right. Have a nice one. Thanks for the call.
Okay.
Take care, Joe. The problem with him, the reason why he's not playing is because not only is he not good at defense, he doesn't really try on that end of the floor. And Kanter's not a good defensive player, but he gives effort all the time. So you can live with that. Hernan Gomez does not, like when he's out there, you might as well just forget it. You're playing 4-on-5.
Yeah, but he was never like that.
He's always, he's a very skilled player. Offensively, very skilled. He gets rebound. He's very much like Kanter. He's very similar. But that's why he's not playing. Me personally, I would probably want to move O'Quinn more than any of them because I think, as Joe said, which is a very smart point, you want to get Hernan Gomez's value back up, and if you trade O'Quinn, you could play him again.
Yep.
And I think right now, as you were talking about with Kemba Walker, even though I'm not a huge Kemba Walker fan, you might be able to pair him with something and get a player like that. So,
well, getting close to the trade deadline, we'll certainly be talking more Knicks. We definitely wanted to talk more Knicks this show, but sometimes the NFL,
right?
Yeah, it
NFL
dictates. We're in the heat of the moment, and also the national championship game. Maybe next
night.
week we'll leave with it. But listen, as always, thanks for joining us on our show here. We have John LaRocchia and the boys following us right after this.
Laughter saves lives. It's
a great show.
Really great show. I enjoy it. They make me laugh, so I hope they make you guys laugh too.
That's it. Well, guys, thanks for joining in. We'll see you next week, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Strong Island TV and Man Up.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.